Japanese developer Technos has brought us many classic games over the years, most of which were on the NES and the arcade. Super Dodgeball, River City Ransom, Double Dragon for Christ's sake. But one particular classic Technos game has faded into obscurity, mainly because it didn't garner much popularity in its initial 1992 North American release. And that game is Crashing the Boys Street Challenge. This game promotes high school violence and performance-enhancing drugs. But who cares about morals and values? This game's just good old-fashioned, child-endangering fun. The story is as follows. This little future frat boy crybaby named Todd gets all bent out of shape when he gets his ass kicked by rival high school Southside's Crash and his gang of miscreants. This whole intro is so dramatic, it's like The Young and the Dickless. But it does have some cool 8-bit renditions of classic compositions like the old Ludwig van's Fifth. Anyway, the little prick goes crying to his daddy and decides to challenge Southside to the most dangerous sporting event ever.
A street challenge, sucker!
You can then choose your team, length of game, and number of players up to 4, which is awesome. Now these events must have been created by Charles Manson or something, they're so demented. You start with the 400-meter hurdles from hell. This is a head-to-head event, so you have to race against NPCs or another player in heats. The goal is to beat your opponent by either killing him or crossing the finish line first. Before each event, you have the option of spending the medals you've already earned on items and power-ups. Now this is where discretion is really necessary. The team with the most medals at the end wins the competition, but winning events is much easier if you spend some medals on a power-up or two. The most useful power-up for the 400-meter hurdles is definitely the Dragon Kick. You can just spam your opponent with that spin kick and win with ease. Next up is the swimming event. I always found it odd that you were swimming through the streets in New York City. That never made sense to me, but it's cool nonetheless. The goal in this event is to literally violently murder your opponent by either drowning them or beating the shit out of them, until they drown. The look on these guys' faces as they're gasping for air is priceless, and it's definitely a good idea to spend a few medals on the piranhas in this event. After swimming comes hammer throw. This one's pretty self-explanatory. Hurl the hammer at the hole and avoid hazards such as sand, rough, and water. I love the animations in this event. The best power-up is Sonic Spin, but the rocket's okay too if you can't afford the former. But do not get the roller. It will roll you right into the water hazard. Next up is the toughest event, Rooftop Pole Vaulting. Again, are these kids just trying to kill themselves? Where are their parents? It's really hard to get the timing down on this one, and you pretty much have to memorize the course to know when to use the pole and when to use the unicycle. You can buy extra lives, but they're really just a waste of medals. The most useful item is Rebound. It allows you to go back so you can survey the next jump and take it slow. This event is really tough, and it's really hard to get gold, so don't spend too many medals on this one. Lastly, we have Fighting Scene. In this event, you, well, fight. It's the perfect way to end a violent street tournament. Hand-to-hand combat. The idea is to kick the shit out of your opponent until you have enough of a power advantage to pull off the grapple. Here you can perform superhuman moves like the Lower the Boom Punch, the Fingertip Spin Throw, and the ultimate weapon, the Fireball Spike. With a little practice, you shouldn't need any power-ups here, especially if you've played River City Ransom because they feel very similar. After Fighting Scene, teams are awarded with special medals, and the medal ceremony takes place. Now imagine me as a 7-year-old kid playing this in 1992.
Yeah, I got first place. Man, this game is so cool. Ah, maybe they'll make a sequel. Oh my god. Ice Challenge? Coming soon? I can't wait! Coming soon? I can't wait!
Coming soon? I can't wait! Okay, what the fuck? Coming soon my ass. To my utter dismay, it turns out Ice Challenge was never released in America. It was on the Famicom as Ike Ike Neketsu Haki Buu, and damn is it awesome. Similar to World Cup and other Technos games, this is definitely worth emulating if you can't play Famicom games. Or you can always get an NES reproduction cartridge. Though it was quite popular in Japan under the moniker Bikuri Neketsu Shin Karuko Harukanaru Kin Medal, which translates as Astonishing Hot Blood New Records, Distant Gold Medal. Crashing the Boys undersold in America despite Technos' attempts at localization, like changing the location of the events from an Olympic setting to a street setting to appeal to all of us early 90s Criss Cross fans. Yeah! And in a move that Rev Sharpton would be proud of, they peppered in some racial diversity by adding team members Sting and Noise. With fun, addicting gameplay, perfect controls, and great replay value, I've been playing this game for 17 years. Crashing the Boys is definitely one of my favorites on the NES and should not be overlooked. However, Crashing the Boys will most likely remain a diamond in the rough. An amazing game that will never get the credit it truly deserves.
I challenge you!